Hi, everyone. I have with me Milana Pavlovich, who is the talent coordinator for Miss Universe and former head of the social media department for the Global Beauty Awards. Welcome,
Thank
Milana.
you for having me.
How did you get this dream job? Please tell us all the details.
It was quite the journey. I did not expect it. I always say this job kind of found me, but it is something that I always wanted to do. It was my dream. I just think when you're at the right place at the right time, the right things find you. And I happen to be working at GBA's, the Global Beauty Awards, that happens every year, alongside amazing people like you, Maureen, and the entire Global Beauty Awards team. And I was running the social media department. And while I was doing that, I got the chance to style some hair for our VIP guests, including Amy Emmerich, the CEO of Miss Universe, Paula Sugar, the president of Miss Universe, and amazing people like Dr. Connie Mariano, April Simpkins. And while I was doing Amy's hair, I got to know her and we just became friends. And next thing you know, before she gets on her flight on Sunday night, she approaches me. She's like, "What do you think about moving to New York?" And I looked at her and I literally said, "I never thought about it." And that's all that we talked about New York. And next thing you know, a couple months later, I'm packing my bags and moving to New York.
Wow. I mean, it happened so quickly. And what people don't know is that you've traveled to at least 9 countries so far. What is your typical schedule like?
Oh man, I mean, being on the go, there's no exact schedule. Every day's a new day and every day's full of surprises. That's kind of the beauty of this job. You just never know what tomorrow holds. I remember I was going to Paris Fashion Week and I literally got the call, "You're going to Paris." And I booked my flight, and 24 hours later, I was on a plane to Paris. So, uh, your life is very spontaneous, but it's full of so much adventure and fulfilling moments like this where you get to really meet incredible people, spend time with people, getting to know them, their passions and dreams. And like today, right now, I'm actually in a studio. The designer gave me his workspace. I was like, I need to give him a call. And the queen, Shanice Palacios, is currently getting fitted for a couple of upcoming events she has for the season while we're here on the Zoom call. So the schedule is always something different, but I love it. I love the spontaneous aspect of it, and the experiences that it brings along this beautiful journey.
So you don't sleep much, right? You absolutely get very little sleep. You have to be on the go. So people might think your job is all about coordinating Miss Universe schedule, but it's so much more. Can you tell us the behind the scenes that people might be surprised to know about your job?
Definitely. This job is kind of a mix of different roles. There's You got to fill the shoes, the roles that are not written in the job description, because a lot of new roles come up every day. You're the point of defense for the queen. You're also her confidant. You're her place of safety and security. So you got to be able to create a safe place for her and build that trust so she can trust you, because she's spending a whole year with you, away from family, away from friends. At the same time, you're her bodyguard and security, ensuring that she's safe, and you're her, like, they say agent, handling all the bookings, all the emails, all the calls, collaborations, working with the PR team, working with amazing people on the Miss Universe team or sales team, working with people like Amy and Paula who run this whole show and make it such a memorable experience for every single queen. So uh, the schedule's always different, working on the schedule, coordinating security, coordinating travel, making sure she's fed, making sure she sleeps, making sure she has food in her fridge, from the little things like that to the big things such as confirming things like, when Arbany was queen, we went to Vogue Philippines and shot her for the cover with Catriona. And there's very incredible experiences. So this job is seeing the big picture and the little details simultaneously.
So do you do their hair and social media? Is that also part of the job description?
So when I travel, I handle social media. And then we do have a social media team, which I work alongside with and I coordinate with them. Sometimes I do the editing and posting, and sometimes I just send it over to them. We follow posting schedules, and I coordinate and collaborate with them. And I sometimes do the hair, yes. Usually the queens are very good at doing their own makeup and they very much enjoy it. I can step in and always help with that, but they're usually able to handle that on their own. And sometimes I'll jump in and help them with their hair.
So you did my hair a couple years ago when you were also part of Pageants Northwest. I mean, Milana has so many skill sets, social media, hair and makeup, and the list goes on. And when you say goodbye to a queen because you spent a few months with Arbany right in the middle of her reign, is it sad saying goodbye to a queen like Arbany and then welcoming a new queen?
I would say it was very bittersweet letting go of Arbany. Arbany and I grew very close in the few months we had together, and she has a very special place in my heart. Arbany and I, luckily, will get to see each other a little bit more often because she will be living in New York City. She's currently traveling, but she's going to be coming back to New York, so we'll get a chance to catch up and see each other a lot more often than, for example, other queens. Previous queens usually go back to their country and they stay with family. Arbany is a US resident, so I get to see her a little bit more. But it was very bittersweet. I will never forget the moment. Backstage during Miss Universe is madness. The stage is huge. Everyone's running around. We got stylists, producers, hair and makeup happening. You got more than 80 delegates running around. And, there's costume show, there's prelims, there's finals. And I remember we're at the final show and I had no idea what was happening on stage because I was in the back the whole time. So I'm just keeping up with the teleprompter and looking at the screen in the back to see who's making it to the top, and running and taking care of Arbany and her beautiful, she had a gorgeous final walk gown. It was exquisite, the beating, the amount of time and effort that was put into it. And I put her in her final gown. I let her go to the producer. The producer took care of her. And I went to the back and I looked at the mirror and I'm like, this is it. This is the final moment. Like she's doing her final walk in a minute or so. And I'm about to have a new queen on hand in the next 5 minutes. And it's like, I don't know how to say it. It truly does feel like a little bit of a friendship and motherhood where you're letting go of your child. You're on your own now. You graduated, you're done, you completed this beautiful reign, and you're going out there on your own in this big world, and you're so excited for them, but also you have all of this emotion building up, and it was very special. I remember with Arbany, it just happens all so fast, and cried a few tears, and then we're like, okay, this is it, moving on to the next queen. And Arbany did her final walk. I gave her the final hug, and then next thing you know, Shanice was crowned, and we're pulling her off that stage, doing makeup touch-ups, headshot photos, introducing her to John Legend, the president of El Salvador, and we were getting her first interview with Telemundo, and then back on stage for more photos with all the sponsors. And next thing you know, she was at her press conference. And after the press conference, she finally got to go back to her hotel room and sit and eat and really soak it in because everything happened so fast. I don't think, the girl can even keep up with how fast it's going. It doesn't hit her until that night when she's sitting on her own in her room and processing everything that just happened with the last couple of hours.
So Milana, I was sitting in the audience because I was helping with the judges, and I just remember you on stage with the new queen. And what people don't know is that you were with us in New Orleans for the 71st Miss Universe. You were helping with the media team with your sister, Christina Kavalovich. What a beautiful moment, right? What a full circle moment. You never imagined this in a million years.
No, I didn't. And I recall that moment very clearly when Arbany was crowned. And it was surreal because I remember I went into New Orleans. I was there for, I believe, 32 hours. It was a last minute trip for me. And little did I know that I was going to manage Arbany about 7 months later, just for a few short months before I get to manage Shanice. And you just never know what life holds. I think that's the beautiful part about life is being open to opportunities, open to taking risks, open to dreaming bigger. it really stretches you. And like you mentioned earlier, I was doing your hair. I think that's where it all started. I think that's where I officially met you, is when I was doing your hair a few years back. And who would have thought that just a couple years later, I'd be running social media for GBAs and meeting incredible people like Amy, who ask you, what do you think about moving to New York? And here I am living in New York City, managing Miss Universe. It's quite the full circle moment.
And I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Korea World, Jennifer Lloyd, because you were part of Jennifer Lloyd's team doing hair and makeup. And again, just what a beautiful moment, beautiful friendship. And for those who've never gone to the Global Beauty Awards, you've gone twice in 2022 and in 2023. What would you tell people about the experience and why they should
The
come?
Global Beauty Awards is family. It is a powerful community that comes together to honor each other, to celebrate each other, to believe into each other's lives and careers, goals, dreams. But it becomes your second family. And like you mentioned, Jennifer Lloyd, she is a friend. She's a mentor to me. She is so close and dear to my heart. And she once saw me and believed in me and took me under her wing and supported my wildest dreams and gave me an opportunity to practice my skills, to grow in my skills. And it takes people like that. And I think what's beautiful about Global Beauty Awards, it's a full room of people that are willing to invest into each other, to believe in each other, to grow together, to laugh together, to cry together, to just be there for you side by side. Every year I love coming to Global Beauty Awards because it feels like a reunion, a big family reunion. And you just never know what the year holds. And as you walk through another year, you grow these friendships and you get back together a year later with everyone, and you just see how much people have grown, how much they have accomplished. And it's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful journey.
Again, you're such a boss, babe. And it's been such an honor to watch your career, just being your friend. And there's been so many aha moments while I was at Miss Universe. You don't know this, but I saw you with a security team and Shay head to the airport. And I was sitting in my vehicle with the other production people and going, that's Milana headed to New York already. And again, just in awe of where God is taking you.
I mean, I'm so grateful for you, Maureen, and David and your family. You guys created this beautiful space for people to come together and celebrate each other, to discover their talents and skills. And you have created a space for me to grow and uh, believed in me from from the very start. And I remember that moment when I approached you and I was like, Maureen, I got this job offer. You were one of the first people to know, and you just supported me the entire process, the entire way. And I would have never been here if it wasn't for your dedication to this, for your love and everything you pour into this. So I'm grateful. Thank you very much to that you guys created this beautiful platform for people to discover their skills, to grow into new friendships and experience life in a more beautiful way at the Global Beauty Awards.
With pageant, we're working hard to be much more transparent. In fact, we're going to have our very first pageant summit on April the 27th, where we will be talking about transparency. Is there anything that we could do better now that you're fully immersed in the pageant world? Is there anything that we can do better in the industry when it comes to transparency?
I think all of us as humans can be more transparent and authentic in a world that's becoming more artificial. We got a lot of social media, we got filters, we have AI technology, which all can be used for the greater good. But sometimes that diminishes authenticity, being honest, real, and just natural, and embracing the beauty of life around us, embracing the simple things, embracing the original things. A lot of people trying to copy each other when you can just be original in yourself. And that's something that I also talk to the queens about. It's just be yourself, be real. Nobody can be like you. You're one of a kind. Nobody has your story. Nobody has your skills, your experiences. And that's what makes you different. That's what makes you stand out.